Hi everyone, in honor of spooky season, I have created a spooky sketchbook inspiration video. Today I'm showing you 4 different sketches, drawings, doodles, just some different creepy, spooky, Halloween-ish type stuff, but you can really draw this all year because I mean, I watch American Horror Story and like Bates Motel all year round. And horror movies, maybe I'm just weird, but I mean, I feel like it doesn't have to be October for you to be scared and watch scary things. And completely unrelated to the topic of drawing whatsoever, I started my vlog channel back up, so I'm going to be posting a vlog every single week on my other channel, Live Love Sarah Lynn. I'll put the link in the description box below. I posted one last week and I'll be putting one up tomorrow, so every single Saturday there is the plan. If you're new here, I post a brand new video every single Friday, so be sure to turn bell notifications on if you never want to miss out. But now without further ado, let's get on into the spooky sketches. Let's go. It just is like angry football grrness. For this first piece, we're channeling the rainbow. I mean, who says spooky stuff can't be colorful? Definitely not me, because I'm using all these pencils. Okay, not all these pencils. I'm using a select few of these Prismacolor pencils to create a rainbow gradient. Basically, I have the page split, as you can see. So my concept is to merge rainbow with black and white, like grayscale. Now, would I advise you to do this with colored pencils? You know, probably not, because this took a heck of a long time to blend these guys and use all these colors and everything. And with the paper from the sketchbook, it's not a very great quality and it's kind of textured. And the pencil just doesn't go on as smooth and as solid as I had pictured and imagined this in my head. So what I'm getting at is you don't have to use colored pencils as your medium for the rainbow colorful section of the page. You would probably be better off using watercolor because 1, that is so much faster to do, and 2, it blends so much easier in my opinion than colored pencil, even though I love colored pencil. But this was hurting my hand after doing this page because I was trying to press really hard to get rid of all the like textured areas and make it like look really smooth, but I just couldn't do it. And I'm not gonna lie, at this point I was really frustrated and I kind of wanted to rip this page out of my sketchbook. Not to be negative, but hey, that's why this page is first, just letting you know, because it's my least favorite. It did not turn out as expected, but it gave me great practice blending colored pencils. And you know, it just also, it's not a bad idea to have things that you don't really care for that much in your sketchbook, because this is a place where you can go to for ideas, for creating bigger pieces, for creating series. And you can like go through and be like, this isn't something I really want to continue with, but maybe, you know, this part of it would be cool to try on something else. So now I'm going into the grayscale side. And for this I'm using Tombow brush pens, and then I went in with a black fine liner to detail the spider. Then I decided I didn't like the white background, so I went in with a light gray colored pencil and just colored that entire section in and got rid of all the white, except for the whites of the spider's eyes. I'm just drawing some ants marching in. So these ants are coming. And now I can tell you what the kind of like humorous interpretation of this page is that the spider is just kind of living in his own world. It's just grayscale. Coincidentally, it's not like he's in a scary world or anything, but his like dream come true is all these bugs coming for him to feast on. So the rainbow is like his daydream, best day ever scenario. Alright, now let's move on to the next piece, and the next 3 pieces I'm very happy with, so this video is going to be a lot more like, oh, I like this a lot, I'm proud of this, and this is really cool, instead of like, blah, I didn't like this. But hey, you know, it's a learning experience. So the second idea is to create your own characters. So for this one, I am practicing not using a pencil for outlines and just kind of doing things, you know, quickly and more gesturally. So I created this hairy scary monster. Does anyone know what show that is from? The Hairy Scary Monster. He also has horns and this terrifying face. At first, I was actually concerned that this would turn out looking very kindergarten-y-ish, but let me tell you, after putting the black outline, it actually looked put together in something that an adult would possibly create. You know, this adult created. Then I went in with a lighter pink, which I think is a pretty cool effect, having like a darker pink outline and then going in with that lighter one. And I drew this guy a friend. So he's kind of like a alien blob snot slime slug monster. Say that 10 times fast. So currently his eyes are floating, but then I did decide to connect them and give him these kind of almost friendly hands. They're like kind of froggy suction cup hands. I don't know, I think they're cool. He kind of looks like one of those, you know, those sticky toys that you could get out of a gumball machine? Yeah, he looks like one of those. When you create a character also, it's like there's not really a lot of stress there because it can look any way that you want it to, especially if it's a monster, an alien, or any type of other weird creature. Then I decided that they need to be in space because they just kind of look like they would be from out of this world. So the green guy does look kind of alien-like, and I don't know, the pink guy just kind of visited him from wherever monsters live, under the bed. He made a trip from under someone's bed to a spaceship and went to the moon. There we go. I could not decide on a background color, so I'm just gonna leave it white because I feel like that's the most contrast, so the green and pink of these guys really pops. And then I just put a bunch of stars in the sky because they're in space. What do you think though? Would it look better with a dark blue background or even a light blue background? I didn't want to do black because they have some black extremities and then like they would kind of disappear. So yeah, sisters, what do you think? And also, are you team monster or team alien? Comment down below. But for now, here we go on to sketch number 3, which is a really, really fun one. For this one, I got out my watercolor paints, and this is my Crayola set. I don't really have any high-end watercolors, but these seem to do the job. So here we are with a really pretty blue, and then we're gradiating that into a darker blue and then a purple and violet. So there's that one. Basically for this one, the third idea is to create blotches, blobs of color. And I mean, you can do it with watercolor, but you can do this with marker if you want. You could do it with colored pencil or acrylic paint. I mean, you can do this any way you want. You could just do one giant blob and then make it a bigger piece. But I thought it'd be fun to combine different doodles and like really make them come together as one. So after the watercolor paint dried, I went in with a black fine liner. So for this first one, you can obviously see I drew a bat flying in the sky, and I didn't want him to be completely jet black, so I colored his wings in with a dark gray Crayola Super Tips marker. Then I have this rather dead looking tree next to him. I don't know, it could just be fall time, winter, and there's no leaves anymore. But I don't know, it looks creepy. Then I put another bat in the sky, and I did some stars and circles to complete the image. There's more because I'm moving on to the green patch of paint, and here I drew a cauldron, a bubbling cauldron of whatever witch's brew, and I thought it would be really cool to let the paint act as the color for the bubbles, so I didn't color those in. Then I drew like a potion bottle behind that and moved on to the next and final little doodle of this page, which is, instead of a witch flying through the sky on a broom, it's a black cat. And initially I thought that I was just gonna do all black over the paint, but coloring in the moon white just seemed like I couldn't pass that up. So here I'm taking a white Posca pen. It's a paint pen. If you want to know more about these, I did post in my previous video a review on these, and I did some artwork with them, so if you're interested, go ahead and check that out. After that dried, then I did go in with a Prismacolor pencil and I did the spots on the moon, and I put some clouds in. Okay, so now you can see all 3 of them together, and here they just look like 3 separate doodles, but I'm going to outline them with a black brush tip fine liner. Well, it's not even a fine liner. I said fine liner because it came in the same pack with them, but it's a brush tip Faber-Castell pen. And then I kind of wanted to make the background a solid black, but I didn't want there to be streaks from the markers. So I took a fine liner and scumbled the entire background of the page, which I think took like 20 minutes, and it did not hurt my hand as much as the colored pencils whatsoever. So this is definitely like more fun than that. But if you're not familiar with scumbling, it's basically you don't lift the pen at all, and it's kind of like scribbling, but you want to make sure that there's some white areas and like they're more uniform. So it's like selective scribbling and smart scribbling. You have to actually think about it a little bit. I thought that that was too loud, like too much noise going on in the background. So I did want to make that look more solid by putting a dark gray color of Tombow marker on top of that. So now it does look kind of solid, but also with a webby, like cobwebby, crackly background, but it works. Kind of like if you have an outfit that you want to wear two patterns with, as long as one of them is a smaller print than the other, you can definitely do that. So yeah, bringing fashion into artwork. This is definitely a concept that I want to revisit in the future. I thought it was a lot of fun to come up with these ideas, and just, I don't know, every part of the method I enjoyed. Like I had a lot of fun adding the color first and then doing the ink over that and then finding a way to like create a background for them. Moving on, this one is, oh, I'm just very proud of it. I'm happy with this one. As you can see, I erased half of her face. I actually didn't do the other eyeball because who has time for that? I took the combining color with grayscale a step further, and I made it even spookier by creating something like semi-realistic and combining that with some sort of surreal or scary element. And then I transformed that now blank half of her face into a skull. And I do want to be really open and upfront with you guys that this concept is one that I duplicated, replicated. I always get that mixed up. Anyway, I basically like took this concept from an image that I saw on Pinterest. I definitely made the style my own, like I didn't copy their face, but I can put the image on the screen now so you guys can see that I did use a reference image and this is not my original idea. But I wanted to share it with you guys because there's so many ways that you could do this. Like you could create an entire person and then like erase her hand and make it like a zombie hand. But I definitely think that it's fair for me to use someone else's ideas because isn't that what art is? Like you're constantly seeing inspiration in the world around you and really admiring other artists and, you know, piecing things together from everything that you see in the world and making it into your own. I think a really great way to learn and to get better at art is to basically copy other people's art. And I'm not saying to copy their art and then sell that exact copy. You definitely don't want to do that. But in a sketchbook, it's totally okay to grow your skill this way. And I wouldn't necessarily consider mine personally to be an exact copy. Like if I wanted to make prints of this, I don't think that I would necessarily offend anyone. I don't know. Tell me your thoughts below. Would it be ethical to create prints of this because it is my own art style? Is it far enough away from the original that it's allowed to be called my own? Like there's such a gray area here. Hopefully this debate does not get too crazy. You guys keep it tame and respectful down below. Be nice to each other, okay? Let's maturely share our opinions here. I did some fine liner outlining. I did some shading with colored pencils. And then I also really disliked her hair in this area at the bottom, so I took the white Posca pen and used it kind of like as whiteout. Now I want to kind of say that it's not easy to draw over this with colored pencil, so you do have to kind of be creative. I like put marker ink over it and then did colored pencil to make the color stand out. Coloring the red hair was one of my favorite parts. So the bold vividness of this hair, how like smooth it looks and you can't really see much texture from the page under it because I pressed hecka hard. This is how I had envisioned my spider rainbow page to turn out. I pressed so hard with these colored pencils and it turned out really nice. I don't know if all colored pencils do this, but I had so much fallout. Like I thought I was putting eyeshadow on the page. That's how much fallout there was. And it was not a good thing because it was getting on the white of the page and it was actually, it would not erase. So there are some parts on that right hand side that I also put the white Posca paint pen over. So this piece is kind of like messy looking if you look at it really up close, but from far away, I am so happy with it. I gave her a green eye, and yeah, I definitely want to do more like this. I think I found my true calling to be a creepy artist. No, I don't know. I'll do this sometimes though. This one took, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours at least, I want to say. Ooh. Definitely not a ghost. I don't think skulls make that noise. This is Halloween, 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 Halloween. Who was it? Oh my gosh. I thought someone broke into my house. It's just Leo. I do have a starting a sketchbook video, so I'll put that there along with another video. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll be back next Friday for sure with a brand new video. See you then. Bye!